PulseChain's secret weapon is our friendship. No, it's actually PulseX, or maybe both. This is proof of protein, POP. Also, we have proof of PEG. Baby dolls. PulseX is really the secret weapon of PulseChain. This is the PulseX logo. It is the DEX, the DEX on PulseChain itself. And now most people, including yourself, when you go think about PulseX, it's just a website to most people, right? There's a website, there's a farming section, etc., etc. But there's more to it than meets the eye. Now, we all know, right, it has a very fantastic buy and burn, which is absolutely cracker. But you really got to understand Hart's law to help understand the power of PulseX and what's going on beneath the hood. And that's why, friends, I will not be surprised to see PulseX pump 100x from today, okay? And I'm going to show you why. PulseX. Now, 2 years ago, I actually made multiple videos on PulseX, and I was outlining the true secret power of it. Because, all right, it has real utility. Okay, I've actually written it here. I've been telling you for the longest time that PulseX's buy and burn is literally real utility. Okay, in cryptocurrency industry, we don't have many use cases. It's really speculative. Bitcoin has no use case, but it's store of value. So people who hold Bitcoin, including myself, everyone's like, don't say that. It has a use case. Okay, bro, what does everyone use it for? Nothing. Okay, it sits on a shelf storing value, right? But it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just you literally do nothing with it, right? Just like gold, friends. It literally sits there. It's what we call non-productive. But Bitcoin has a story, has an aura about it. It has a Satoshi narrative around it, right? It's the first crypto. It's donated to humanity. It's like a divine intervention, a divine being, right? But technology-wise, it doesn't do anything, you know? But then you might make the comparison, right? If you had an amazing Harry Potter book that, you know, gives you coupons. If you read it at the end, there's hologram pop-ups. It actually pays you money if you just read the book. And it just does a lot of cute things for you. It might be an amazing book, the best book you've ever read, but it ain't the Bible. You know what I mean? Like it's not the Bible. Okay, the Bible is the Bible. You get what I mean? Now, the beautiful part is the difference between PulseChain's ecosystem, right, all of the core coins versus Bitcoin is about 1,000x, right? Literally is 1,000x. Okay, so you're comparing like 2 billion market cap of PulseChain core coins. And then if you multiply 1,000, you get about 2 trillion. That's about a Bitcoin around the 100K, which is fascinating. And it's big enough to take advantage of that. If the gap was closer, okay, we could have a different conversation, but it's not. I think there's a big opportunity here. Now, remember when I said that PulseX has real utility? I really do mean that, okay? Real utility, friends. Remember, crypto is not used for actually much. This is the PulseX, just I'll use this chart here, but most of the activity is literally just someone swapping with someone else. Okay, that's literally most of the activity, swapping around, yeah? And then we have a fee, okay, a little fee here. F for fee. The fees go, and then they go into buying PulseX, yeah? PLSX gets bought and burned. That's the beautiful part. It's a tax on the, what we call, I call it economic activity. Now, no one really else in crypto calls it economic activity, because when we usually say economic activity, we refer to like real world stuff. Like, you know, fixing a car or like building a hospital out there in the real world. But in crypto, it's all about digital nations. It's, remember, friends, we're all on this imaginary pirate island that ain't really imaginary, actually lives on the internet. It's censorship resistant. It's immutable. Government can't shut it down. It's really cool, isn't it? Yeah. But it is digital land. So there's pros and cons to it, right? The pro is like, you know, anybody in the world can access it. And the government can't shut it down. It's great, right? That's one of the pros. The cons is kind of like, well, you don't have daddy government to like basically limit the power of a monopoly or oligopoly of something. And if people don't like a country, so if they don't like a coin, you don't like Phantom Chain or Petrodot or Ethereum Arbitrum or anything else, you can vote with your wallet in minutes. You can literally click sell, leave. You can just bridge out somewhere else. There you go. You can't do that in a nation. Not so easy, right? You'd have to like, there's a lot of network effects built in. You have, you know, there's a hospital there and there's a school system and it's very hard to move around. And like you can, you know, change your passport and go moving and flying across the world. But it's not so yes, you don't have these barriers in crypto. That's why they're pros and cons when you look at it like that from that perspective. But the economic activity is what everybody is pretty much here for in crypto. And yeah, most of it is speculation, right? Now, of course, we do have stable coins. We have, store of value, people swapping stuff around and privacy. But the most part, what are people actually doing? They're speculating, okay? And that's where PulseX comes in. So, friends, we are already over 7% of the total user supply bought and burned for PulseX. Wow. Okay, remember, I'm telling you, it's a secret weapon here. It's a secret weapon for the whole of PulseChain because of Hart's law and the bonding. Okay, it's already bought and burned 7%. We haven't even started the bull market, man. You know what I mean? Everything's just been going down only. It's been crushed. Now, PulseX chart hopefully is coiling up, but still, man, like you got a long way to go. I mean, like this is where day one stack price is. Now, the good thing is actually it's an advantage for all of us that the PulseX price is so low because the chewing up of all the buy and burn, it's good here because it's basically buying a lot of the tokens on the offer down here, right? If the price was higher, you wouldn't be able to buy up as much, okay? You'd need a lot more volume. Now, you've heard me say this before, and it's true. PulseX is pure DeFi. It's real DeFi. And the deflationary aspect of PulseX keeps enhancing because of the baseline economic activity value on the chain. Let's pump it. And we're going to mog them. We're going to mog every single non-believer. So baseline economic activity, yeah, it is just trading back and forth. What are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? You can say, oh, it's all speculation and trading. Yeah, man. When the business cycle goes up, business ISM, manufacturing PMI goes up, it reflects all the business confidence and liquidity entering around the world. People feel confident. What do we do when we're confident? We have more inclination to take on risk. We go further down the risk curve. We feel better about taking on risks into the future, right? That's just what happens, right? People buy gold. Gold goes up, then they buy and they speculate in the Bitcoin miners. You know, it happens with stocks as well. The big caps go up and they slow down and everybody can start punting on the small caps. Same thing happens in cryptocurrency. Bitcoin goes up, gives everybody confidence. Then it starts moving down. And the liquidity rotation is not one for one. There's a lot of ratios and stuff that move around. But for the most part, that's the general gist of it. Now, as you know as well, PulseX buys and burns its PulseX token off the market whenever someone trades on the PulseX exchange. Remember, there's PulseX V1 and V2. You don't have to worry about it. V1 has a bug, probably intentionally left there. It is a very high aggressive fee for the buy and burn. It's super aggressive. It's like 0.24%, which is big. And then V2 is only like 0.06%. Okay. Now, the reason why you shouldn't provide liquidity for V1 is you don't get any fees generated. Yeah, you're basically just giving away money if you're providing liquidity. You shouldn't do that. In V2, though, if you provide liquidity, you do get part of the fees, but the buy and burn is less for the whole ecosystem, okay? PulseX, friends, has a giant PulseX to Pulse ratio pool, which would be accessed by any market player in the event of a PulseChain PLS listing, okay, which is going to bring me on to the next point. So that's why the potential for this stuff is big. Now, this used to be much thicker. This is the PulseX to Pulse pool. It's like 8 million total, right? 4 million each way, but pretty much because it's super thin now. It used to be thicker, but it's okay. It's better that it's thin, right? And I've actually hinted here, right? This is a Binance post. Will Binance list PulseX or were they just trolling? Binance, may the 4th be with you. This is literally the X of PulseX. Now, something interesting you got to learn, all right? Here I am replying. When PulseX listing? Binance CZ. When PulseX listing, right? Look, PulseChain's not even listed in any exchange. Hopefully it gets listed very, very soon. Maybe there is listings and stuff right here that are appearing, whatever. But as PulseChain gets listed on more exchanges, the inventory arbitrary bots, they will, so arbitrage, sorry, the bots, friends, okay, remember, if PulseChain's listed on the exchange, okay, and then PulseX is bonded to it, all the bots, so I'll just draw a house here. If there's an exchange, right, this is like, say, Binance, all the bots that have, PulseChain of it, they're buying and they're selling and stuff out here. When this price deviates away from here, they will be buying it off the PulseChain exchange itself, PulseChain, and they'll be basically transferring it back and forth. Okay, it literally go back and forth to arbitrage it. You see that loop going around? This volume, guess what? It's accumulating fees back and forth because people don't give a crap, right? They're just paying slippage. That's why as Bitcoin and Ethereum get more volatile, PulseChain gets more volatile, PLS. And so you have a big advantage here because all the trading, the back and forth and the volume starts to really ratchet up that buy and burn. Okay, and this is just with a PulseChain listing. You don't even need PulseX. Okay, obviously it would be amazing if they listed PulseX. They should list PulseX, right? But you just need this. Everyone on the ecosystem wins with Pulse listings. Literally everyone, because everything's bonded to Pulse. Okay, there's all these bots, they're trading. And just to give you an idea what do these bots do. They make like correlation maps. And they'll try to get like, you know, pools of different coins. And they'll like, okay, all of you have like 80% correlation to like, you know, Ethereum. So when Ethereum goes down, they sell it. When Ethereum goes up, they buy it. They try to make like these nice delta neutral spreads and stuff out here. But they just end up doing volume and stuff over time. And during these high capitulation events, you get like, you know, big players who just accumulate bigger positions. They get traded out, stopped out, and Bob's your uncle. Now, I just showed you those cute logos, right? And this reiterates the point. Pulse, Hex, and Inc., all three of them are attached to PulseX. The protocol activity, mostly speculation swapping, will help fuel value over time. This will all kick into overdrive during a bull market mania. So that's the, I guess, fantastic thing about commodities, crypto. As our prices go up, the volatility goes up, okay? It doesn't happen in the stock market. Stock market's inverse, which I'll actually just show it to you now. In Mr. Stonk Market, friends, here's Mr. Stonk Market. The volatility dies as you go up. You see? It goes... It just dies. The VIX gets very, very low. That's like the standard of the economy. Because the cycle of them, let's say it's like 5.5 years. 6 months to 1 year going down, it's like 4.5 up. So most of the time it's actually going up. You know? That's just how it looks like. But then, once you have the big capitulations, the volatility goes up. Whoa! Whereas in crypto, it's opposite. In cryptocurrency, yeah, our volatility when we go up is like, wow, I'm going to be wealthy, right? But then when we go down, it's like, and then we just round off. We're like, oh, we just round off, low volume, like can't move up, and no one ever thinks it's going to happen again until we eventually start up again. That's actually the Bitcoin price chart, which I'll just show you as well. So that's very, very familiar with you, right? You can actually see like even down here, like compare obviously these candles, whoa, bang, all these volatility stuff up here, and you compare to like this little dead stuff. There's these capitulation weeks, but even if you go down, right, there's just like tiny, tiny, tiny moves. You see, like, and also another part accentuated is really here. You can see this like here, like look at these, man, like just dead, nothing. But all of these are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You see those big swings? So that is, hope you like those sound effects, friends. Let's play some angel music for everybody out there in the back with their pants on. See, that's why crypto, friends, it's magical, but also deadly. Double-edged sword, right? It gets more volatile as it goes up because why? It's the supply is restricted. That's why. In stocks, it's not like the supply of the stock ain't really the, you know, it's not playing on everyone's head. Oh, they're running out of Apple stock. No, Tim Apple will just print more for you. You see, it's not about that. But with crypto, like, oh my gosh, they're running out of Bitcoin. Not everyone can afford a Bitcoin, right? Like, oh, the price has run away from me. We don't get that FOMO and other stuff. By the way, you know, understood this? Lord Satoshi. That's why Satoshi put the Bitcoin halvening in there. The Bitcoin halvening is not in the white paper. Yeah, he just put it in there. He's like, you know what? Let's just try give a shock to the price to get everybody's attention. Interesting. Now, this is what I'm about to tell you, friends. So when I talk to you about a secret weapon, there's actually one God chart in crypto. And the God chart is BNB. CZ's coin, friends. It's true, okay? Just, this is the God chart. This is the BNB-BTC ratio. Okay, now Binance is an exchange and they have a buy and burn, which you don't know about. Why? Because they don't talk about it, but they do it. If you check out the ratios, you can see, I've made many mentions for this on you. In 2022 bear market, the BNB-BTC ratio went up, and then as Bitcoin basically bottomed out, this ratio went down. So I've just checked all the ratios and I could see what Binance did. During the bear market of 2022, They were collecting all the fees, right? But they weren't using the fees to buy the BNB token. All they were doing was leaving a bid. And so what happened was, as Bitcoin's leg went down and all the bots are selling into BNB, it has like $100 million buy wall. And it won't go down on the BNB-BTC ratio, which held its bid. And that's as Bitcoin goes down. So if you're looking at that, that's why BNB-BTC's ratio goes up and up and up and up and up. You see that? Whoa, BNB's like really, really strong versus Bitcoin. Then when Bitcoin bottomed out, remember, there's nobody like selling into the BNB bid anymore. So it's just leaving a bid, but then Bitcoin's rallying. And this thing is not hitting market. Okay? I can actually show you a zoom up of it right now. That's actually this move right here. That's this move right here. So that's why if you have, for example, if you have like 2 coins, if you have actually BNB, BTC, we can actually, let's actually like overlay them right here actually. Perfect example right here, friends. So the orange line is Bitcoin. You can see, look at the ratio peak, right? The ratio peak is, so Bitcoin's going down. It's kind of funny, right? Bitcoin is like going down and down and down and down here. And what happens is BNB just has like this bid. It's funny. BNB's like just has this bid. Why? What are they doing? Obviously, so they don't tell you this because they don't want to create expectations, put themselves in international law or regulation or anything. I'm not actually sure about if they release any of this, but pretty much what they do is, yeah, they're collecting fees just like PulseX, but it's not automatic. It's not decentralized, okay? You have a middleman in there, okay? Now, the middleman is a sweaty, hairy armpit Chinese dude. He's sitting in his diapers, internet cafe. He's got a cigarette. Okay, where's my cigarette? He's got a ciggy. Got the ciggy. Here it is right now. Okay. He has the Binance terminal, one PC, and then he's got his laptop. He's leveling up one of his alt warlocks. He's playing World of Warcraft, okay? There's cigarette ashtray everywhere. His keyboard's literally yellow. There's a fan blowing in the background. It's got like that sticker thing that just blowing in the background, right? You know, and the lights don't work properly. There's just literally a fan on the ceiling as well. It's going like it's very, very squeaky. But you rely on that dude. Okay, you rely on him. He's eating Hot Pockets as well as eating some ramen noodles for lunch as well. He's living the time of his life. But you need him to create the bid. Now, luckily for everybody holding BNB token is they have. Okay. Something interesting as well, friends. CZ has, I think, like $40 billion of the BNB. I know it sounds like a giant wild number. The total market cap for BNB is 85 billion. I think CZ owns somewhere from 40 to 60% of it. Wild, yeah. And that's funny. He's only got 1.5% Bitcoin portfolio, and everyone's like, haha, only 1.5%. It's 700 million bucks, which is funny. 700 million bucks worth of BTC. So, like, yeah, that kind of gives you some edge, right? Maybe some insiders know about that's what BNB do, right? But I've been reporting on this for a long time, and maybe even Richard knew my videos. But see, Richard made PulseX before this. So that God chart, friends, very important because BNB is real utility. The thing is, though, it's centralized. Okay, so it's not true to the crypto spirit. So if I just remove the BTC price and the BNB, now this is just BNB BTC ratio. Now you can understand how powerful this is, friends. It is literally the same price it was around the top. Okay, do you understand how literally insane this is? You are, my gosh, you are around your Bitcoin, sorry, your BTC bull market 2021 high. You're at the same freaking ratio, man. This is like for example, Hex is down from its all-time high in 2021. Okay, so if you go to this thing's 2021 all-time high, how far down are you? Like 40% from the like absolute from May here, but still, like it's quite an achievement to be able to do this. And you want to see some real strength? Look at the BNB ETH ratio. Oh my gosh. Check that out. BNB ETH, friends, it literally has broken its all-time high from 2021 right here. Wow. So like Hex is down 99% against ETH in its all-time high. This thing, man, I literally broke the all-time high. But look at the most it ever dropped, friends. It only maximum dropped 64%, and you would not have bought here. You want to know why? Because everyone was scared CZ was running a Ponzi with Binance. So you're probably either long from here, you would have never touched it here. You're just so scared. But yeah, like look how defensive it is. It dropped 50% and then it goes up 24%. So it's a defensive, nice play, right? But yeah, that's in the past. You're here for the pumpamentals, aren't you? And that's how we'll crank it. Now, I mentioned it here to you. Binance keeps a bid on their BNB token, takes fees and generated, and creating a nice thick demand wall for Binance token. This requires trust and the middleman to do it. PulseX, though, no trust. Okay, yeah, there's some trust, blah, blah, but you know what I mean. Okay, it's true to the crypto spirit. Okay, it's literally pure DeFi. It does the buy and burn automatically. People are swapping between the Pokemons and the P-Dies and then Tangangs, and they don't know which teddy bear to buy. They're swapping back and forth for Maria's tokens. That's generating fees going around the ecosystem. It's doing volume and it's buying PulseX. Richard Haas exchange PulseX is decentralized. And PulseX automatically buys and burns PulseX off the market. And the PLSX-pls ratio is no mistake. PulseX will help unlock big power from within PulseChain. I am bullish. That is the PulseX to Pulse ratio right here, as you can see, friends. Okay, so even Binance has hinted at this. Okay, Binance has hinted. My friend Lucky Luke, BNB-BTC is the holy grail of crypto charts. PulseX is a decentralized BNB. Shh. Well, there you go. So you just ruined the whole secret. But yeah, that's why, friends. That's pretty much it. Now, obviously, you're probably looking at it, you're like, hey, but the charts. I know, friends. We're not Binance, man. We're not Binance. But it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter because in the bull market, you'll be like bigger than Binance. And by the way, Binance have a defensive coin. They don't hit market to smash it up. They just like leaving a bid, you know? So PulseX is bull market juice, okay? Because when there's volume done, there's no guy who like holds the fees and decides to buy it in safety of a bear market. The fees go to automatically buying and burning, okay? So like it's during the heated moment of the bull market, okay? So friends, PulseX, now you got to understand this, right? This is where it all comes together. Remember I told you PulseX is bonded to everything, right? PulseX, remember bonding to everything, right? You have you have the exchange here, Hex. Remember, PulseX bonds to everything. Well, that means all the economic activity going around, taxing everybody for their speculation. As long as the chain's alive, that is buying up PulseX, yes, which is literally, and I got chains here, it's literally dragging everything up. See that? See that nice motion, nice sexy motion going up? It's literally dragging everything up over time. Yeah. This thing's bonded to everything and the correlation is like slowly ticking everything up. Now you'll see more of it happen in the bull market, right? Remember, it's a buy and burn, man. It's taken off the market forever. So that's the most wonderful part about all of this. You're literally holding a purely deflationary asset. Nobody can ever get more tokens. You literally own the casino. Remember, I made that term, friends. I said owning PulseX is owning the casino. I told you that 50,000 times. I made all the memes or the pictures. It's still like reverberated out in PulseChain. Owning PulseX is owning the casino. You literally own a share of the casino. It's like there's a casino rake everywhere else, you know? Now, obviously, we want some high-flying poop coins and stuff out here, but it's a nice kind of defensive, not even really defensive play. Like, for example, not financial advice, but some people say to me, Sammy, I got $3,000 coming in. I don't know what to do. That's why I'm like, well, I would just like, okay, just thrash in the PulseX, you know what I mean, as a core coin, and then like decide what to do after that. Because it's like, it's literally, you're buying a deflationary thing, right? It's literally going to the bid and offer in the market. It's just chewing up the offer as time goes on, you know, which is beautiful over time. So it doesn't mean like the thing just goes up only forever and ever and ever, okay? Because in the bull market, you're going to have all the volume. People are probably going to get too antsy-pantsy about it. And then I'm going to be like kind of warning everyone like, hey, you know, in a bear market, volume drops 98%. So all that buying and burning just like is going to slow down. No one's going to hear that though, but that happens in a bear market, okay? But you've already been through that part. So don't worry about that part. We're here for the big bull. So it'd be lovely to see, man, just imagine PulseX gets listed somewhere like big. Whoa. That's why it is a secret weapon. It's real utility. It's helping Hex go up. Everything basically bonded to it. It's friendship time because it's like the real economic activity is like keeping everything alive. Okay, so it's no longer about, oh, there's no use case for Hex or there's no use case for Ink or no use case for Pulse. We can figure all that stuff out. Well, Pulse has use case, just like, you know, the gas fees and stuff out here. But with PulseX, though, owning the casino is literally the world's greatest DEX. Okay, so hopefully prices go up in the future and then all of this starts to make sense for everyone. But for now, you and I are going to enjoy the friendship. Like, subscribe, but not catch you soon.